Good morning, everybody, or good afternoon, or wherever you are located, whatever time zone. Very excited. I'm excited about every episode, to be perfectly honest with you. But this one right here, I'm extra excited for because this is actually, this gentleman has had a very large effect on the community right in my backyard, St. Petersburg. So I'd like to introduce everybody to Stan Arthur. Thank you so much for joining us, Stan.
Oh, I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me on.
So I mean, your background, I kind of went on and looked at LinkedIn for a little bit and read your bio and so many accomplishments. I mean, tell us a little bit about yourself. I don't want to ruin your story. Tell us what you've accomplished, and it's pretty incredible.
Well, my family's had quite a history here in St. Petersburg. My mother graduated from St. Pete High 6 months before the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor. We ended up settling here when my father retired from the Navy in 1965. I was 7 years old, getting ready to go into third grade, North Ward Elementary, in case anybody remembers that.
Okay.
And I just, all along, I got into music. I got into comedy, acting, anything having to do with the arts, except for actual art, because I've always kind of sucked at that. But and just over the years, after getting out of high school, I was hired by a company called Young American Showcase that toured bands all over North America doing basically rock and roll / comedy / motivational programs in high schools. And I did that for 13 years. 10 of those years actually married and traveling with my wife on the road all over the United States and Canada.
Wow. So kind of going into more recent, I think kind of to put it, I guess the largest way to encompass a lot of things that you do is content creation. I mean, I saw that you were a leader in the Adobe group of 65,000 members on LinkedIn. You've created multiple YouTube videos. You have your marketing studio, which I would imagine that's behind you unless there's multiple studios, but
this is actually my place of business. This is my workplace. I've been at Stetson University College of Law for 23 years, and I operate a television studio here.
And then you've created a significant amount of content for them as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So,
oh, yeah.
And talking about online courses and advertisements and things like that, correct?
Oh, much more than that. Documentary films. I mean, you name it. Inspirational, motivational pieces, in-depth pieces about areas of the law. This job allowed me to kind of freelance my own documentary films, for which we did film festivals, won a few awards and that sort of stuff. I mean, some pretty deep subjects like human trafficking. You get the idea.
Absolutely. Very, very, deep and recent subjects. So incredible background, but the real reason that I brought you on today is obviously I'm a social media Facebook nerd. I'm on there all the time learning how people create things and get traffic and create content, et cetera, et cetera. And you have done something incredible with the I Love St. Pete Facebook group. So you guys are over 80,000 members. You project that you'll probably be at 100,000 members by 2022. How did that start? I mean, incredible to say the least.
Well, it's a very good question. It's first of all, it's I Love St. Pete.
There you go.
I love St. Pete. It was 2009. I had just left a part-time job I was doing on the side. I was a worship leader at St. Luke's United Methodist Church, where we had a rock and roll worship service. Okay. I had just left that and feeling kind of empty. My band wasn't playing much. And I was new to Facebook, and I saw these things called groups, and I thought, I wonder if there's a good group for St. Pete. There wasn't. So I created, at that time in 2009, 12 years ago, I created I Love St. Pete, Florida. Florida was in there because I thought, well, maybe people don't know where St. Pete is. And after 6 years, by 2015, we had 5,000 members.
Wow.
Yeah. And I had no expectations whatsoever. None. I thought, hey, maybe it'll be a cool way to get people to come out and see my band.
Yeah, and Facebook
that never really happened, by the way. That never really happened.
Facebook wasn't really even that old by 2009 when you started it.
About 4 years. I think it started in 2005, and and I was fairly new to it. I was still bitterly clinging to MySpace, I think, at that time.
Yeah. And supporting Tom over there.
And So I started the group. A lot of my friends joined up, and with really no expectations, no agenda, other than I wanted to have the kind of group that my mother would have been proud of me for running. So I established a no conflict, no profanity, no political discussions, no religious discussions. Just we're going to focus on the things that unite us, not the things that divide us. And that seemed to be a very, very popular thing. So
Yeah, to say
6
the
years
least.
after that, from 2015 to now, we went from 5,000 members to 82,000 members, and we're still growing by over 1,000 new members every month.
So do you think, and just to kind of talk about the rules for example, for a second, because that's very important, I think, to have a successful group.
I
Do
agree.
you think that putting that in place early on uh, kind of encouraged more people to join because they felt that they could post safely, I guess, for lack of better
Yeah,
terms?
I get a lot of comments about that. A lot of comments say that Stan has created a very cool space here where people can't, call each other names, start arguments, troll, that sort of thing. So yeah, I hear a lot of that.
So how do you enforce, these different rules and things like that? Obviously, with 82,000 members and probably a significant amount of posts per day, you can't, with a
Yeah,
full-time job, monitor it all the time. So how do you do that?
I have help.
Okay.
I don't do it all myself. I couldn't. My wife, Karen, is also an admin. We have a great Jeff Hoyt, who is a realtor with HB Realty in St. Petersburg. He's an administrator. I had to take on a partner, but we'll get into that later.
Okay.
But as far as the rules and enforcing the rules, Facebook gives us a lot of tools to do that. They didn't used to, but they do now. And it's made it a whole lot easier for us to be able to do that. It's mostly based on keywords that those things, the people who try to post with certain keywords or comment with certain keywords, that they just get declined automatically. As far as my job, I still have to go through probably between 100 to 150 new posts every day just to approve them. And I've gotten pretty good at it. Streamline it, get to it 2 or 3 times a day and knock it out.
Nice, nice. So tell me about kind of the subject content that you'll see in the group. I mean, obviously it's I love St. Pete, but are we talking about, and I'm sure we'll get into this a little bit more detail as well, but business postings, I think, is a separate group. So we'll kind of leave that. Is that correct?
It's not a separate group, no.
Okay. So it's because I know we'll go ahead and go into it now. So I think you have to be a part of is there the separate website that you have to be a part of, I think, to be able to post? Is that what it is?
You don't have to be a part of the website. We have a
The key tag,
website
yep.
called stpetekeytag.com where here's what happened.
Tell me about that. Yeah.
A couple of years ago, up until then, we had not allowed business advertising in the group.
Okay.
It became glaringly apparent to me that we needed to do something to help local business people with their, local merchants to help them out. I mean, I remembered an old phrase. I can't even remember where it came from, but it's with great power comes great responsibility. And when at that point, I had about 50,000 members in the group and realized this would be a great venue to help local businesses proliferate. So I came up with a plan. I was looking at my keys one day. I think I got them. Oh yeah. I was looking at my keys one day and I noticed this rewards key tag I think this was for Winn-Dixie. And
Okay.
I thought, well, why couldn't we do that for local businesses where we have one key tag? And if our group members display a key tag to a merchant who's participating in the program, they'll get a better value, a special offer, a discount. So that was the impetus for it is let's involve local businesses, and all they have to do is offer our group members a discount, better value. And it took off. It absolutely took off. And I had no idea what I was doing. I tripped into this backwards and it just exploded. So after a while, we had to reconfigure the entire thing. And I took on a partner, and he very, very savvy guy with websites and e-commerce and all that sort of stuff. And he's in charge of it, and he just does a fabulous job. We sign up probably 1 or 2 new businesses almost every day. And we've got more more than 300 involved now. Of course, some come and go and that sort of thing, but we wanted to make it accessible to any kind of business. So we had a small monthly fee or an annual fee that helped us pay for our website, our webmaster, support, our PayPal thing, because those things are, and the key tags, obviously.
Obviously, yeah.
We probably printed over 15,000 key tags by now. So none of that's free. So in order to pay for that, we had to have a small fee for our businesses to be able to get involved. But they also get to post, those businesses get to post in the group every day. Now, many of them don't, which is, apparently they don't need the business that much, but those who do, have a lot of them have seen a tremendous difference in their business. I have one artist young lady who tells me that she gets nearly 100% of her business from I Love St. Pete, and her life has been transformed by this thing.
That's incredible.
Well, she was very skeptical about it, so she paid for the monthly, just 1 month. I said, see how it goes. Her first post, she sold three of her pieces in 30 minutes. She was like, oh my God. It just took off from there.
Annual member for life after that, I guess.
Oh man, well, she has just expanded what she does. She creates huge wall pieces now, and I think she's very, very popular in the group.
So tell me, so we see obviously, so the business posts, what else can somebody expect when they come to the group? I've seen a variety of things from restaurant recommendations to job postings to community events. I mean, what else can they see?
Well, it's nice that you bring that up. We get an awful lot of what you call frequently asked questions, FAQs. And so a lot of that's not allowed. We do have automated responses for people who ask for, where's the best all-you-can-eat crab legs? That's a very popular one. Turns out there's only 2 places that do it. And so we send them an automated response and say, go here and try this. But there's a lot of that. There's an awful lot. One of the most popular questions we get asked is, do you know a good plumber?
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
who knew, right?
Yeah, we need to put it out there that if you're a plumber in the St. Pete area, you need to go join the program. And
we have several. We have several in the group already, and of course those guys, they post about what they do, and a couple of them are just crushing it. And we tell people ask us, how do we find your key tag merchants? I said, use the search tool in the group, and if you're looking for a plumber, put plumber in there and look at what comes up. That's going to be a key tag merchant, and if they're a key tag merchant, they're going to be a reputable quality business.
Okay. Now, do you vet these businesses at all, or if you do? Okay, very interesting. So you kind of go
through their backgrounds. We look at their Yelps. We look at any information we can gather just to make sure that they're on the up and up.
Okay. And that's wonderful. I mean, another kind of value add that just makes people that much more comfortable and safer with the people that they're doing business with. So how else, I know you read the cover photo as well, correct? For
yes. Yep. We started doing the banner ad about probably a couple of years ago. We started doing that.
So tell me I know you've said multiple times that you definitely didn't expect things to explode the way that they did and grow so much, but what did you expect, or what was, I know you said kind of a group that your mother could be proud of, but what did you want? Or did you have any initial intentions, or?
No, zero expectations. And my wife said, why are you doing this? I said, I don't know. I said, well, let's see what happens. Never in my wildest dreams did I ever imagine that we would accomplish what we have today. And we can go into that as in regard to the charitable work that we began over a year ago. Again,
can you talk about that a little bit? That was obviously something I was going to go into. I mean, I've seen incredible things about, not to spoil, of course, your response, but, helping out families at holiday times and really coming together for people. Talk about some of those things that the group's been able to do.
Well, when we grew so large, again, with great power comes great responsibility. And I would get personal messages from people who were facing financial emergencies. Like, I just got my water shut off, or my power shut off, or facing a imminent car repossession or eviction from their apartment. Can't pay the rent this month. and everything's gone wrong. It's just a, you know, a chain of events that have caused them to be in a bad place financially. So I really wanted to help out. And it kind of came to a head when an acquaintance of mine was making deliveries, driving every day to like Lakeland or something, picking up fresh produce. It was actually fish spread, and bringing it back and distributing it to different restaurants. And her car blew up. She had no transportation, and she asked me if there's anything I could do to help. I said, "What the heck? Let's give it a shot." So we started a little fundraiser for that, and in 6 days we had over $3,000 that enabled her to go and get a new car. And that was mind blowing to me that happened, and everybody was so gracious about it. Within a week or two, we tried something else with somebody I didn't know at all, but I vetted her story, and it was a senior citizen who was having certain difficulties and problems. And again, people just ran to it. So I said, I'm going to start this thing. I with my PayPal account, I started something. It's called a money pool, and I called it the I Love St. Pete Emergency Relief Fund. And I just put it out there. I said, look, we want to continue this good work. And if you want to help out, if you want to chip in, here's the link. And this was just before Christmas last year when it happened. And unbelievable response, absolutely unbelievable response. After just a few weeks, I had over $16,000 had come in.
Wow.
And me and my wife just looking at each other said, wow, what are we going to do? This is turning into an absolute monster in a good way. And then people had the idea that I would be a good source for helping kids get toys at Christmas. So people started bringing toys to my house. And 3 days before Christmas, we set up a table in the front yard covered with toys and games and things for kids. The next day we had to set up a second table. And the last day we had to set up a third table. And by about 5 o'clock Christmas Eve, everything was gone. People had come and collected things for their kids. And it just turned out to be an insanely cool thing. And then again, that was very unexpected. It happened completely spontaneously. And then since after the holidays, the donations slowed up quite a bit. And anytime I would get what I thought was a really special kind of request from someone, I would go back to the group and say, we would really like to help this person out. And again, the response was always great. And all along, people were recommending to me that I make this official, go 501c3 nonprofit organization, which just makes my head spin. I can't even imagine doing anything like that on my own. Then again, I got help. An old friend of mine turned out she's an accountant, and she knew all the ins and outs of that. And she got all the paperwork ready, took it to an attorney, a friend of hers, Samantha Chachil. And Samantha did all the filing with the government, the IRS and everything else, and didn't charge us a dime. She's such a sweetheart. She's a tax attorney here in St. Pete on Central Avenue. And before you know it, she looked at me and said, "You're all set." I said, "It's that easy?" Well, not really, but within 6 to 8 weeks, you'll have your confirmation. But as long as you filed and your status is pending, you can go ahead and go for it. So we had to have a whole new thing. So we bought this domain right here, helpstpete.org, and created a website there where people can donate. And the really cool new thing is people can sign up to donate on a monthly basis, like $10 a month or whatever they want to do. And again, the response has been phenomenal. And it's just become this thing we do that we never had any idea that we would do. And on our website, we've put some stories of people that we've helped, the reason why we do it, just because we can do it. And again, with great power comes great responsibility, and you just have to answer that call. And I'm old enough that I've been through it enough that I realized this could be my last great shot at doing something significant within my own community, and it's working out.
Yeah, I can say so. I mean, truly amazing what you've done, and I'm sure the community of St. Pete can't thank you enough. I mean, tell me about. I mean, I'm just blown away right now. I'm just trying to take a moment because, yeah, it truly incredible what you've accomplished. And tell me about how you would recommend others creating. Obviously, there's many different things that you've built upon in regards to the I Love St. Pete group, but tell me what you would recommend to somebody trying to start a group, how they should start a group.
I wouldn't have a clue. I've been doing this for 12 years, and I just fell into this by accident. Um, I mentioned to you before we got started today that I have been a motivational speaker for
Hmm.
a number of years in the Young American Showcase Company, speaking to high school students, just, rights and responsibilities, good neighbor stuff, and be a good citizen stuff, and all that. And I've just always had a way of being able to talk to people and keeping it real, keeping it honest, being very open. I mean, look at me. I'm a long-haired hippie guy. Okay, I like to wear tie-dye shirts. Um, uh, I'm 64 years old. All right, I've been uh, working paycheck to paycheck almost my entire life. I don't have a nice car. We don't own our own home. We don't. I mean, we're just like so many people out there, but through this thing, we were able to make a difference. And that means more than anything else could. I mean, I'd love to have a beautiful new Dodge Challenger, but I'm not going to get one.
Yeah.
Not this way, but then you look at the good that's being done, and all of that kind of falls away because it becomes unimportant.
I mean, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but obviously, I think if you ever want to start a group, and out there to the people that are watching this, if you ever want to start a group of this capacity, you have to have passion. I mean, you have to have a passion for people, and that's probably the foundation of what you've created. Is just having a passion for helping people within your community.
Okay.
We'll go with that. So, uh, I can't thank you enough for joining me. I mean, this was absolutely incredible. Is there anybody else, or rather, first of all, is there anybody that you'd like to thank? Because obviously, I know you couldn't have done this. You said you didn't do this alone. And is there anything you'd like to tell, the YouTube community and the people of St. Pete?
There are so many people that have been instrumental in helping us establish the charitable foundation, and people out there doing stuff on their own as well. I'd like to mention Joanne Bracchio, who runs the Made to Order business. It's a home cleaning business. It's a huge home cleaning business that she's been running for 45 years. She has her own charitable foundation called Love Thy Neighbor. She recently moved to a huge facility. It actually used to be a church, but now it's her headquarters for what she does. She takes donations constantly of food, of clothing, of furniture, and she's able to handle all of this, and she gives it all away. She's wonderful, a wonderful role model for people like me to she was one of my main inspirations for really going legit with the 501c3. There's my good buddy Zeb Apostolakis. He has been phenomenal in especially with the Key Tag program and helping us grow that and maintain that. My wife Karen, of course, we've been married 41 years, and and have 2 adult children, but she, constantly, we've just made it happen. No matter what came along, we just made it happen. So we are soulmates for life. And she gets involved, she helps out. It's wonderful. I've made so many new friends. I'm now an Elk, members of the Elks Lodge because of people we met through the group. That has been an incredible thing. We made so many great friends there, had such a good time with those people. I don't want to leave anybody out, but there are going to be many who are left out because there just isn't the time to name them. But Janice Roth, she's a friend who was the accountant who prepared all the paperwork and got everything set for us. Samantha Chichale and her business, she has Chichale Law on Central Avenue. What a sweetheart. And I'd recommend her to anybody who needs a tax attorney. Fantastic. Oh, I don't know. I could go on and on, but I don't want it.
No, no. I mean, incredible people. And so we're going to go through it one more time, and I'm going to put these in the links as well. So it
Right.
is the I Love St. Pete Facebook group.
Right.
If you want to join the key tag program,
Right.
so then it's going to be stpetekeytag.com.
Yep.
And then if you want to help out the charitable foundation, it's
helpstpete.org.
.org. So I'm going to put all those in there. And then Stan, how can they find you? Just through I Love St. Pete?
Yep, it's easy enough to do. Yeah, that's it. Just through I Love St. Pete. I'm all over LinkedIn, YouTube. I'm not hard to get a hold of. If anybody,
Wonderful.
yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, Stan, again, incredible story. I can't thank you so much for taking the time today to speak with me. Guys, support I Love St. Pete, support St. Pete's, support your own communities if you're watching from outside St. Pete. Stan, thank you again. Stay well, everybody. Make sure you like this video. If you want to see more content or have a comment about what Stan said, comment in the comments below. And thank you guys so much. Stay well and have a great day. Thanks again, Stan.